Hey, welcome to the Pritchard Pub. Tonight we are doing a watchworthy with a special guest, C.A. Pence.
What up,
Yo.
Ooh, ooh, oh, oh.
man? Pence.
Pence.
We need a soundboard.
Yeah, probably. Okay.
Anyway,
Hey, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good. How are you guys?
Doing good.
good. What do you think about this video?
Let's see how it.
All right.
Oh, one more time. There we go.
I might cry, so bear with me. I used to be a full-time nurse in a dementia unit, so this news has, it's not sitting well with me at all, and I'm not exactly sure how something like this actually happens. The vulnerable in our world are supposed to be taken care of, and now the government is making it so that isn't even a thing anymore. We're
Not
going
now, they've
back
been
in
doing it.
It's
fucking
always-
time
where else is
instead
it?
of forward. And I'm just baffled by this. This new continuing care regulation is supposed to take effect on April 1st.
I believe this is in Canada.
We are moving to 0
Wow.
hours of care. So that means in a continuing care home, someone can be left for a week sitting in their own fecal matter. And that's just okay now, because it is now not the nurse's job to actually care for their patient. How can you go to school and become a nurse and not give a shit about the people you're taking care of? There's already so many terrible nurses in the medical industry
True.
that
Yeah.
try to get away with doing the bare minimum so that they keep their job. And now the government is telling them, you don't even have to do the bare minimum to keep your fucking job? It is now lawfully backed that you do what? The fuck is the point of a care home and a continuing care facility if they're not going to have assistance?
Well, in Canada, you can also legally die if you're just a little sad.
I tried to
This
look.
is fucking wild. Basically now what this means is if you have not set yourself up for retirement, which the majority of the population has not, because
Right.
who are we fucking kidding? In this day and age, it's hard enough to put milk and eggs in everyone's fridges.
Yeah.
It means that you're not gonna, it's not funded. You're not gonna get the help that you need. You're not gonna have the products you need. You're not gonna have the care you need. They literally sent a patient who had a stroke to recover alone in a hospital, in a hotel in
Wow.
Leduc. Someone who had a stroke was sent to recover alone in a hotel in Leduc.
That's unbelievable.
I give up on this world.
Her nails are
I
cute.
didn't think it could get worse.
Okay, so a few things. I've tried to look into what she's talking about a little bit. I'm sure I could if I did more research, but I haven't really been able to quite figure out what she's talking about. But it doesn't sound good. And someone recently said that health and care shouldn't be part of healthcare because you don't get, you know what I mean?
What the hell?
It's just, it's horrifying.
Yeah.
Andy and I have been through so much.
Yeah.
It's sad.
Manipulative doctors, like in and out, months of in and out of the hospital. You name it. You know, all the fun stuff.
Yeah. In general, I've heard a lot of terrible things about going on in Canada right now. And just,
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on up there.
It's like,
Yeah, it's weird.
and when you give people in institutions like that permission to not give a fuck or to just like let whatever happen, you know, then I don't know. It's not. I'm not saying all of them will, but like somebody's gonna.
We always used to want to like be part of Canada. Like, Minnesota's pretty much Canada anyway. Let's just, you know. And now it's like, oh, fuck that.
Yeah, it's like
I don't want to be honorary Canadian anymore.
Yikes. Speaking of Canadian, we got a Canadian.
Oh, boy.
What are you talking about? Is
I
this
just
a
started a
Canadian?
new job and I almost
I don't
got in
know.
a huge
I don't know
fight.
if
I'm
it's
talking
cool.
like corporate level lawsuit fight until I realized that management was referring to me as the trainee. The trainee. So I just started a new
She thought people were calling her tranny. That's hilarious.
Oh, that's great.
Trainee.
Like, oh, got it. That's
Whoops.
good times.
Well, that's good bonding experience with your new employers.
Yeah, they'll all laugh about it later.
I'm
When the
sure.
Easter Bunny-
I know.
when the Easter Bunny comes, but things go wrong.
When the Easter Bunny comes, but things go wrong.
The scream.
Oh, no.
Xander,
Let's see that again.
what are you doing?
So they're all excited.
Uh-huh.
My phone's up.
Hey, what'd you do?
Let's go. And then the head goes rolling across the floor.
Yep, that's the worst part.
Chill with mama?
I mean, you could have recovered from the rest of it, but the head falling off.
Right. The best part is it's like Sonic the Hedgehog with all the coins scattering everywhere. Oh man. Ah, yeah. You gotta get the funny ones in there too, you know.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't know if you noticed, but it's just always funny whenever somebody falls, unless it's like somebody vulnerable. If they're okay, then it's hilarious.
Yeah.
Got
Like,
two videos.
like that old
Oh,
commercial. I
Is it-
follow
are
it.
you-
Pick it up.
Yep, classic. It sold
Oh,
so
yeah.
much, I'm sure.
dude, that
I
was
have no
hilarious.
idea,
Funny.
but it's
Yeah.
been remembered.
The head flew
Oh.
off and everything.
It's in the annals of Western lore now.
Yes.
This is not good, y'all. Look, I know we can go ahead and call the manager or we can go on Yelp because you are definitely a 5-star dog living in this 2-star world and it's not fair. I know it. I know it. All right, we'll leave. We'll leave.
It's pretty great.
Loads.
That dog is a Karen.
I know, right? I love when dogs make such unique noises like that.
Yeah.
Gotta be on top of this if you want to control it, or we can switch spots. Good lord.
All right.
Okay,
Are they good?
Yeah.
Are you good? Hi, this
Yeah.
is Deputy Kim, badge 262 with the Sacramento County Sheriff's Office. You are both
Not
committing.
recording you, so you should probably wait.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No,
I am. It's okay. Just
I'll wait till they're both done recording so I can explain the whole thing. So wait, you don't get the snidbit and put it on whatever you want to put on.
2 words. So. Okay, now go.
No,
1,
no,
2,
no.
3, go.
You guys ready?
Mhm.
Okay. Hi, Deputy Kim, badge 262 with the Sacramento County Sheriff's Office. Hi. You are both currently committing 2 misdemeanors in our presence.
Misdemeanor.
Right? Yes, misdemeanors.
I don't know nothing about that.
Okay. Well, I've already told you an hour and a half, right? It's no interrupt.
Okay.
Okay, that's a good example of an extremely tolerant police officer.
No kidding.
Yeah.
That's all I really have to say about that.
Yeah.
Some fucking people.
Oh yeah, they're all bad
Go
though.
along with it.
It's not here. Anyway, should I just go to the next one?
Yeah.
This guy. Oh. Not losing the broadcast. It's so true too,
What
though.
a waste
Yeah,
of
no kidding.
Dude, it's so true. Not even gonna lie. It's so funny because you can tell they were all in the middle
the
of doing something.
disgust on that look.
You can tell they're all in the middle of doing something.
Yeah.
They just stopped to do this shit. Oh, dude. It's so funny. I'm just gonna go to the next one.
Welcome to the rabbit hole.
Ooh.
Do you know who posted this picture and where this picture is from? I do. It's the same person who posted this picture, and I will not tell you what they're doing. Someone outlined it for you.
Go
Sometimes
back
the
and
big
pause
guy
it.
is the
Go back
little
and
girl.
pause it on the picture.
Yeah, because they outlined it. What does the outline mean?
You see anything, Pence?
I mean,
Okay, so there's like a leg right there, someone laying down. Oh, my contacts are getting foggy, so that's not.
are they eating people? Is that's what's going on there?
Oh, yeah,
might be
because I was gonna
eating
say it looks
people.
like they're eating, but then there's like someone leaving.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking.
Oh. Here, I outlined it. Oh, and it's
Oh
all.
yeah, there's a head there, like a body.
Oh, man. Oh, man.
Maybe it's pretty blurry, so it's kind of hard to tell what they're actually doing. But
Mm-hmm.
Let's look one more time.
Yeah,
I can kind of see it.
that looks like there could be blood on the wall too.
Yeah, I can kind of see it. Yeah.
Someone outlined it for you.
Zan, you're alright, baby.
Sometimes the big guy is the little girl. This is Rachel Chandler. Here's Rachel with P. Diddy, and it says here she's 14. This is her saying it too. Silly boy. She just happens to make it around the most famous of people. Britney Spears knows a lot about this. She also worked for Midland Casting, which was partnered with Balenciaga.
Pause it.
Those
Pause
models
it.
look so.
Okay, as most people already know, have a lot of experience with my professional modeling career, and I've done a lot of digital photos. Those are not normal photos. Like, those digitals they look traumatized, terrified, and whatever. They just do not look right at all.
I'm not even professional. I don't even think they look right. There's
Yeah,
something
I
wrong
mean,
going on there.
yeah, they're not professional quality either. But so, for example, let's see, the lighting's not even right for this because they wouldn't do like a flash like that. Like, the lighting is okay here in this one. But what the fuck is that? That's not a digital. This one, lighting's okay. Same with this one. But yeah, like, that's not normal. Like, what is wrong with her? That's not a modeling. Plus,
Right.
They're like mugshots.
Or are they also
Right.
straight on? Like
Because they're digital.
Oh.
They should be like, that's
gotcha.
kind of a. But yeah, that's not normal.
Like a portrait.
Midland Agency. Whew, what a shitty agency that must be. I've never even heard of it. Models to watch. Like, what the fuck?
What's that?
You mean buy?
Yeah. Happy, don't they?
Oh, he said
I mean,
they look happy,
seriously,
don't they?
who
Nope.
is this woman?
All right, then.
Welcome to the.
Oh my god, guys. So story time. So this has nothing to do with my page being banned or the videos that I posted or any of that stuff. Okay. So I want you guys to pay attention because yesterday I went out to the club in New York with my friend. So we went to like a really popular bar in New York, and everything was cool and chill until there was this guy particularly. He was very interested in my friend, and I'm not one of those friends that's like gonna C block or anything, so I'm just protective. So I'm like, all right, let's let him rock. So towards the end of the night, something tells me like something's wrong with this guy. I'm like, what? So he's like, oh, I'm gonna get you a bottle, and she's like, oh, she tells him what she likes. So she's like, I like Patron Cafe, whatever. So she tells him, and he walks over to the bar, and something tells me like, go follow him. So I followed him incognito as fuck. And when he's at the bar, he tells the girl, you know what to do. Just like that, you know what to do. So he looks at the girl, she looks at him, she smiles, she goes back on her phone, he walks away. So I'm like, hold up. So I wait there at the bar, I'm sitting down and I'm looking at her, and I notice that she doesn't grab the bottle of Patron Cafe from the back. She grabs it towards the front. I'm like, what? This is weird. And God is so good because while she was getting that Patron Cafe, another bottle girl grabbed the Patron Cafe for somebody else, and she grabbed it from the back. So my mind was like, why didn't she grab her bottle from the back? Why she grab my friend's bottle from up here? What's going on? So automatically I was suspicious. So while the girl was doing her thing, so she's basically taking a bottle to my friend. While she was doing that, I told the other bottle girl, I said, hey, can I get a bottle of Patron Café? She's like, sure, here you go, whatever. I paid for it, blah, blah, blah. I got the bottle. So I take the bottle, I put it in my tote bag, right? So I walk back to the table and she's like, oh my God, look, you got me a bottle. I'm like, oh my God, yeah, that's so cool. I'm like, oh, you know, because I don't drink. So she was drunk. I was just trying to be cool with her, you know? Is it recording? Okay. So as a friend that doesn't drink, you know, I'm like, yeah, that's lit, you know, woo, yeah, woo, woo, woo. So I'm lit or whatever for her. So I look at him and he's like looking at her. So I'm like, yo, why don't you go to the bathroom and like freshen up? Like, you got to fix your eyeliner. She's like, oh my God, really?
So
She takes out
awesome.
her mirror and she's like, all right, I'll go to the bathroom. So there's a lot of security there. So I know nothing's going to happen to her inside the club. You know what I mean? So she goes down to the bathroom and lo and behold, Mr. It follows her. So I'm like, all right, while Mr. It follows her, I took the bottle out of my bag and I put it on the table and I put the bottle that he gave us inside my bag. So like literally like 6 minutes later, she comes out or whatever. She runs to the table. She's like, yeah, let's take some shots. And I'm like, all right, girl, let's go, whatever. And then like she's like taking shots or whatever. And he's like watching her and he's smiling. So I'm like, girl, why don't we send him a bottle? She's like, oh, I don't have any more money. I'm like, don't worry, I got you, girl. I got you, right? So I take the bottle out of my bag. Inconspicuously, and I go up to the same bottle service girl that I bought the bottle from, and I slide her $20. I'm like, yo, can you take this bottle to him? Like, he's nice. I want to buy him this bottle. She's like, yeah, of course. Yeah, girl, let's go. She takes him the bottle, whatever, with no candles or nothing. Just takes him the bottle, and he looks and he smiles. So he looks at her and he goes like this, and she goes like this. So I kid you not, guys. I'm staring at him from across the room, and this guy opens the bottle. I'm like, oh my God, is he gonna find out? Oh my God, fuck, right? I'm like, ah. So he looks at my friend and he's like, and I'm like, what? He starts chugging the fucking bottle and he looks at my friend basically to signal her to chug it too. So she starts chugging it. I'm like, chug, 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 you know, because I know what's going on. So I'm like, chug, 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 chug. So my friend's lit, he's getting lit or whatever. So I look over at the girl and I'm like, she looks at my friend like mad as hell. I'm like, what the fuck? So I told my friend, I'm like, yo, why don't you invite him to dance again? She's like, no, it's fine. I'm like, okay, cool. So like, I kid you not, guys, after he chugged that fucking bottle, literally 15 minutes later, this guy just boom, face plants right on the fucking floor. Mind you, this guy's like 6 foot tall, like 300 pounds. He hits the ground, boom, just face plants. I'm like, first thing I do, I look at my friend. She's like, oh my God, what happened? I'm like, no, it's okay. Like, let's just chill, whatever. Like, I'm calming him down. I noticed a girl from the bar, the bottle girl that works with him, ran over to him like desperately, like, oh my God, what happened? So I lock eyes with the bitch and I'm like, and she starts running. So I go after her and I'm like, yo, where the fuck you going? She runs outside the bar. So I grab her. I'm like, yo, come here. I'm like, you working with this guy? Why the fuck you giving girls liquor that spike? I'm like, come here, bitch. And she's like, no, you don't understand. And I'm like, give me your fucking phone. She's like, no. So I hear the boom. I grab her phone. And then like she looks at me and just starts to run. And I'm like, should I go after this bitch or what? So I'm like, nah, fuck it. I got her phone already. So I run inside the club. I get my friend. I'm like, yo, we got to get the fuck out of here. Let's go. She's like, oh, but we having such a good time. I'm like, yo, let's get the fuck out of here. So I called the cops or whatever. You know, I told them everything that happened and I calmed my friend down. And she was just like, yeah, I had a great time. So this morning I get a call from the detective and he's like, I got something to tell you. I'm like, what happened? He's like, we have a lot of damning evidence on this phone that you got. He's like, it belongs to the girl, right? I'm like, yes. He's like, well, they had a lot of sinister plans for your friend and they were working together. And we had a lot of cases like this, but you're the first one to report it. And I'm like, maybe because I'm the first one that's not fucking drunk. But ladies, I want to let you know, there's women out there, bottle service girls, bartenders that work with these human traffickers. You got to be careful. You got to look out for them. Whenever you go out, please take a sober friend with you. If you ain't got one, hit me up. I'll fucking go with you. I'll be punching bitches all fucking day. So, guys, I love you. I got to go. This is my new profile, my one and only profile. So let's get it. Let's go. Look out for those traffickers. Look out for those women, for those men. Don't trust nobody. And most importantly, always trust your instinct.
Yeah.
Such an epic story. Yeah, she is such a good friend. And then the go freshen up, you gotta go fix your eyeliner. Like, she's just, I love her so much. I want to be her friend.
The dude's like,
hey, if you ever see this, be my new best friend.
The dude's like, "Oh, let's chug the bottle." Because
That's so fucking
and she's
funny.
like, "Yeah, chug."
Piece of shit. People are such scumbags. That's
No
like
fucking
some.
kidding.
That's like instant karma justice. You know.
Oh yeah, I always
Vigilante
love to see
shit.
that kind of thing.
I love vigilante shit like that.
I've heard quite a few horror stories just like that from various places in Minneapolis.
Oh, really?
Dude,
My music days, yeah.
my
Oh,
fucking
fun.
eyes.
Yeah, there's a few of them that developed a reputation for that, actually. And
Oh, great.
yeah, people took special care when they went there. Ridiculous.
I'm surprised. I wouldn't. Why would you even go there?
I
You
know,
have the
right?
reputation and be like, why not avoid it?
Well, because big bands play.
Oh, okay. I guess that makes sense.
You got to be in
wasn't
that environment.
The Myth one of the
Yeah.
places?
Oh, I'm sure they had. They served underage. That's what that was.
Oh.
Anyway,
I'm sorry if this is the way you find out, but the FDA recently has found that cinnamon apple pouches for babies to eat has had 2,000 times the acceptable level of lead in it. 2,000. Oh, you thought that baby that was looking at you the other day was just being cute and curious? No, that baby already has the lead poisoning stare. Like, sorry, kid, you're just fucked because boomers just love putting lead in absolutely fucking everything. They can't get enough of it, and they want everyone else to have it because they want everyone else to be as deranged as they are.
except for paint, right? Because if our walls are coated in lead, then they can't like beam lasers into our dreams and turn the frogs gay.
Beam lasers into our dreams.
Yeah, yeah.
What the hell?
What the hell?
Go
Oh,
find them. Where do you find them?
Then kind of hit them. Go find them outside.
Those are big.
Easter egg hunt.
Oh, nice.
And he's doing it too because you got to
They're in big eggs.
you gotta get them brewskis, man. He needs them.
Oh, that's funny.
There's one on the tree.
What if he, you know, what would make this a lot funner is if he was only allowed to go get one at a time, and then when he finishes that one, he can go look for another one.
Oh my god.
So can you imagine by the time he gets to the end of the case or whatever, he's out just like wandering around looking for eggs in the dark.
He's all drunk too.
Yeah, and all drunk. You get drunker each time. That sounds like a fun game, actually.
That does sound amusing.
You just got to do it in a safe space.
We could play outside tomorrow if you want.
You totally could. But then the thing is you have to encourage the actual drinking of the beer. So like, it's not enough to go find it. You have to keep the game going. So like, you have to get the beer drank quickly.
Dude, what's the THC drink?
Oh man, be sleeping by like the third one.
Yeah, that's true.
He's determined.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah.
I can't even open my eyes because my contacts are so old. I have one pair left and I'm trying to put it off as long as I can.
Understandable. See, now I guess the idea. You gotta open it, crack it, drink it. And
Damn, it could at least been cold. But the refrigerator and get it cold.
get it cold. Get that shit cold, yeah. My Easter egg hunt story is
It's so good, you guys.
basically when I was I don't even know how old I was. I was preteen, I think, or maybe a young teenager at best. But my mom and her sister went out the night prior to, I don't remember what island it was or what it was called, but they went to this island that you could just you could just hang out on if you could get to it. Cool, whatever. It was like near the cities too. I can't remember the details because I was a kid, But they went there the night prior and hid a bunch of Easter eggs, just like that.
For him and his cousins.
Yeah, for like the whole
Mom and
family,
dad.
all the kids, you know. And the next day, basically, they dropped all of us kids off on this island and left us there with some older kids as like babysitters. But the older kids were still like, I mean, looking back on it, it was like the 90s, early 2000s or whatever. So different times, but
Right.
probably still too young. Just saying.
I'm just
But
thinking Lord of the Flies right now.
oh, dude, total Lord of the Flies vibes. Because as soon as they left us there.
Right.
They left us there, and they went back and they had an adult day, and
then
they came back at dusk.
And then they couldn't find any eggs.
Yeah, we couldn't find it. So the adults left. It's just like, yeah, very Lord of the Flies, like Conan the Barbarian, you know, like D&D.
Right.
You got the higher level characters in the party, you know, and we're just all chilling. We can't find any eggs. They were like, were they lying to us? You know, they said all the eggs are here. They must have really hid them, or they didn't hide very many. But very quickly, we realized that the island was. Am I?
Getting attacked.
Yeah, the island was flooded. With the island was infested with vicious geese. A whole bunch of geese. So this is why I think they're like snakes. They're flying snakes, essentially.
His cousin still is like traumatized about it because they were like trying to attack them and shit.
Yeah, they were flying right at our faces, trying to attack us, and we all grabbed sticks, and like no geese were harmed, but it was totally freaking D&D, dude. Like all like a random encounter, you know, like a horde of geese, and yeah, it turns out the geese had found all the eggs in the morning.
Oh.
And adopted them. They assumed they were eggs from other nests or something, and they brought them all into their nests. Fascinating.
That's
But,
interesting.
yeah, we couldn't get any unless we
Bought the geese.
Yeah, at least distracted them enough to go grab our eggs out of their nest, you know.
Isn't that
Right.
wild?
That's nuts.
It was crazy. The parents came back at dusk, and we had a hell of a story. It was wild.
Yeah, you're all traumatized and scratched up from geese. Dude, I swear, that's like, who would believe that?
Dude,
You know?
I sometimes I don't even remember that until something like that Easter egg video pops up. Then we got this one here. Another story time, I think.
I don't usually come on here and do much, but a video every now and again of something silly, like back at Halloween when we did our photo shoots. But I saw a lady on here the other day crying because people were making fun of how she looks. And then I saw all the outpouring of love from so many wonderful people reaching out to her and making her feel wonderful. And I just have to say, I'm so thankful there are still people left in the world willing to do that for others. No one should ever make you feel less than, ever. It happens more often than we think, and people are just... I don't even know the right word to use. But to that lady, I hope you know how beautiful you are, how special you are, and don't you ever, ever let anybody make you feel less than.
So there's
people are dicks.
Yeah.
People are dicks.
for those who didn't see the video, I actually did, and there's a woman who, she has like, I don't know if it's I know there are conditions that cause it where you have like no chin, you know, or like your chin's like flatter and stuff. But like, that's it, you know, and people were like talking about how she's ugly and stuff, and she made this video crying, and I actually saw the original video, and she's like, if I'm so ugly, then like teach me how to do my makeup, like help me out, you know. So do you know who Jelly Roll is?
I've heard the name before.
He's a musician, so his wifey Bunny saw it and hooked up this girl to get makeup and a salon visit and get her hair done, all of this like awesome stuff. So
nice.
She's like getting pampered and all of this like love and support. And then she gets home and someone fucking called, what do they call it? DFS or whatever. Basically CPS. They called fucking child services on her. And so when she got home, she was met with child services. Yeah. Because people are so angry and can't handle someone getting love that they have to do that.
Freaking ridiculous.
Yeah, it's so sad. But yeah.
This is why people keep distance on the internet so much.
Yeah.
No,
It made my heart hurt. I'll be right back. I'm going to put some contact solution in.
Okay. So this next video, I wanted to be included because it just reminds me of JVP Music's audio comic that he has on YouTube called Ruthless, if you're familiar.
I've seen it around. I need to check it out myself.
Yeah, he's got like at least 2 episodes now. I don't know if he's dropped a third. I haven't seen or heard anything about a third yet.
Right.
But the first and the second ones are really fucking badass, and the guy's like a brilliant musician. So,
all right.
I actually want him to see this next video. I should like send it to him directly or something, because just the format of this, it's like story time, but they have almost like a comic going along with it.
Huh.
And he even shows pictures of the people, the real life people that the story's about.
Mm-hmm.
And then like the characters in the comic actually kind of resemble them a little bit. So like if they did AI art, they must have spent a lot of time on it or something.
Right.
Or actually got an artist or something. You know what I mean?
Right.
Either way, it's like high quality, and I think some Iron Age people could get on top of this. Not gonna lie.
All right.
Like,
all right.
so yeah, like story aside, TikTok aside, just look at the content and what's happening. It's a comic. That's all I could think the whole time, you know. So it's freaking awesome. All right, you ready, babe?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So this TikToker, her name's Michaela. One day, she and her boyfriend Adam are on a road trip together, and they're passing through Alabama. And they're kind of in the middle of nowhere, and suddenly they see a woman on the side of the road, and she's flagging them down. She needs help, and they pull over. So this woman, let's call her Yaz, and Yaz asks them for jumper cables. Her car is apparently broken down back at her campsite a little further into the woods. And Adam's like a super nice guy, so he's like, of course we'll help. So Yaz leads them further back into the woods, and they see her car with the hood already popped open. Now before Adam gets out of his van, he reaches into the back and he grabs his pew-pew, and he tucks it into his waistband, just in case. So they try jumping Jazz's car, and it is not working. And they keep trying, and they keep trying for over an hour. And by this time, Michaela is ready to leave. And she's like, okay, this is not working. Is there anything else we can help you with? And suddenly, Yaz is like, yes, you can put your hands up. And she pulls out a pew-pew. So Michaela and Adam are like, what the fuck? While Yaz forces them to empty their pockets. She's robbing them. And she takes Michaela's phone and she demands her banking account info. Now, it seems like Yaz is nervous, like maybe she hasn't done this a lot. Because suddenly, out of nowhere, she lowers her pew-pew and is like, I'm just playing, y'all. And the moment she lets her guard down, Adam pulls out his firearm and he's like, get on the fucking ground. But Yaz doesn't get on the ground. Instead, she starts fumbling around with her pew-pew, but apparently she's never actually used one before, and it suddenly goes off and fires into the ground. This shot spooks Adam, and so Adam starts shooting back, hitting Yaz in the stomach. Then she starts shooting back at him. Now they're shooting at each other. And Adam hits her 4 times, and she's down. Now it seems like it might be over. But then Adam suddenly says, I'm shot. And he falls to the ground because one of Yaz's bullets got him in the back. So Michaela gets her phone back and she calls 911. But they're so far out into the woods, it's going to take at least 30 minutes for anyone to get there. Meanwhile, Yaz tries to run away, but she can't because at least one of those shots she took in the leg. So she just randomly starts calling out, Crystal, Crystal, help me. Now, who the hell is Crystal? Now, that is when another strange woman just suddenly emerges from the woods. This woman, Crystal. And Crystal starts circling around them, trying to assess the situation. And finally, she looks at Yaz and is like, what do you want me to do? Then she runs back into the woods. Now, eventually, paramedics arrive, but unfortunately, it's too late for Adam. He ultimately doesn't make it. So they take Yaz away on a stretcher, and police talk to Michaela about what happened. And she tells them the whole story, and she mentions there was this other woman, Crystal, who appeared out of the woods and then suddenly disappeared. So police spread out, and they start looking for Crystal. Now, they get about a half mile into the woods, and they spot a group of tents together. Kind of looks like a base camp. And standing by one of these tents is Crystal. So police see her and they're like, get on the ground. And Crystal does. But not a moment later, a 5-year-old kid runs out from one of the tents with a loaded shotgun pointed at police. And police are like, whoa there,
Dude,
kid,
the art
put that
is
down.
awesome.
But the kid doesn't put it down. He clings to it and he walks up until he's next to Crystal, who's still on the ground. It turns out Crystal is the kid's mom. But that's not even the weirdest part about all this. The weirdest part about all of this, the tents in the middle of the woods, Yaz, Crystal, the kid with the shotgun, they are all allegedly part of some spiritual group called the University of Cosmic Intelligence, aka a cult. And the leader of this alleged cult is this guy, Rashad, who used to make a lot of TikToks preaching his culty nonsense until his account got banned and he went to prison recently for being a P3DO. I'm not kidding. So supposedly they're all in a cult following the teachings of that guy. And they've been living in the woods off the grid and they've run out of resources. So they come up with this plan to pretend their car's broken down and rob whoever tries to stop and help them. Anyway, police arrest Crystal and they eventually arrest Yaz in the hospital. Here's Crystal's mugshot. Here's Yaz's. They go to trial. They get convicted. Yaz is sentenced to 35 years in prison for unaliving Adam. But Crystal is actually sentenced to life because apparently she was the mastermind behind the whole robbery. And by the way, Michaela has a TikTok page and she talks all about this. She's actually pretty great. Shout out to Alabama. So this.
Yeah.
Huh.
It's a pretty crazy story, but like the format, that's what drew me to that one. I was like,
Yeah. So back in days of Newgrounds, I came across what the hell was it called? There was a Broken Saints. It was a kind of an action comic series. Kind of what you're talking about with the format reminded me of that a little bit too. It kind of had similar feel to it, where it'd show different pictures, but it'd be like slightly animated, very similar way.
Right.
It was a really good series. If you can find it, I suggest it. Although I don't know if you can find it anymore these days.
And I know that style is infinitely easier than full on animation.
Right, definitely.
But it's so close, like you almost don't even need it to move when you do certain things like that.
Right.
And, yeah. Like if that's the case, then all you really need is a series of pictures, which is very doable these days, whether it's like through AI art or if you're an artist yourself. It's like a great way to make promo videos of your art, for example. You can just draw another picture. You know what I mean?
That's true.
But, yeah, I mean, I want to learn how to do it personally. Seems tough. Like I might need a better computer.
Maybe. I have no idea.
Yeah, me either. I'll have to look into it.
Have y'all seen the clip of Diddy and Mike Tyson doing an interview together? Diddy like has his hand like near Mike Tyson's butt, and like Mike Tyson in front of everybody picks up his hand, moves it, gets up, moves over, so like Diddy cannot touch him. First, watch the clip, and then we'll talk about it afterwards.
Just keep on rocking, but it was like I just felt I was embarrassed for like weeks. It truly is about the Benjamin, as we see. Oh yes, he's glittering. It truly is about the Benjamin.
Well, now when we come back, we're going to talk more with Puffy, and if you want to hang out, more than welcome to stick around, my brother. All right? We'll be right back with more right after this.
Did y'all see the look on Diddy's face? He looked terrified. With all the allegations coming out about Diddy right now, we clearly know Diddy probably tried to like do something with Tyson behind the scenes. Tyson wasn't having it, so he like made sure to make a point on TV on this show and do that. Like y'all should go back and look at all of these interviews that have Diddy in it. Like you cannot look at them the same way. I feel like Diddy should have known better than to try something like that with Mike Tyson, but what do y'all think? Let me know in the comments.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
It's fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
Seems like a dumb move to me.
Yeah. Don't come on to the big scary guy. He's surrounded by women. Yeah, probably don't. I don't know. It's Mike Tyson, man.
Yeah, you don't want to fuck around with that.
Yeah. He's lucky to still have both ears.
Yeah.
That's like we were talking about tigers earlier.
Get this one. That was just
You committed the ultimate.
Give us 1 second here, and forgive the baby. Sorry, he's making happy noises over there. watching his shows.
Yep.
Yeah, as the babies do.
The act of betrayal. Leaving your baby terrified, alone, unprotected, to suffer what I heard was the most gruesome death imaginable, with no food, no water, no protection, and lying in her own feces. You decided you needed a vacation. You left your baby, Jalen, trapped in a pack and play without food and water for 10 days. I'm going to sentence you to life in prison without the possibility of parole.
This t-shirt here hits a little different though. I hope to move as many of these as I possibly fucking can and do good enough to where for the next 3 months I can give the motherfuckers away for free. Just in one hope, one prayer that someone sneaks a fucking cell phone in their prison wallet. And this is the last fucking video you see of me wearing this t-shirt and telling you that I hope you get the worst version of fucking street justice that is even fucking imaginably possible.
Yeah.
I can't say on here what I truly hope happens to this woman, because they'll pull the video, they'll ban it, and we all know that. But I hope it's the wickedest, nastiest group, the most horrible form of fucking street justice that you could ever possibly imagine in your entire fucking life, for the fucking horrible shit you did to this poor child. I hope it's long. I hope it's miserable. I hope it's painful. And I hope when they're done with you, they dump you in the fucking ocean like fucking Optimus Prime. This has been a subject. I've watched this for a while now. It's been really hard for me to talk about. I would love nothing more than to flood this planet. That every time you turn a corner, this is the shirt that somebody's wearing to get some kind of point or message across. If you were affected by this, my heart goes out to you. Like, I don't even know what else to say. I hope you see this, and I hope this haunts you for the rest of your entire life. You're not gonna make it in there. You're gonna get what you deserve. If you want to pick one of these shirts up, you can click this link right down here, lady. I hope you see this video, and if it hasn't happened yet or isn't in the process of happening, I hope it haunts everything that you think of when you go to sleep, when you wake up. Lady, I hope, like I said, someone smuggles a cell phone in their prison wallet inside prison, and you see this video, and just as a message from me, I hope this haunts you for what little life that you have left. There's no way you're going to get away with all this. You're going to get some form of street justice. It is what it is. Somebody's going to get you. Have a good day.
So they had ring footage from a neighbor, and the baby was like screaming and crying like 1 a.m, and like, just, I can't even fucking fathom that shit. It's so heartbreaking.
The people that do that, I just can't understand it at all. That's just messed up.
And she just wanted a vacation. Like, I'm just gonna leave it. What?
Yeah.
No. Yeah, but that dude was dancing.
Shit.
That dude was dancing around terms and conditions pretty artfully.
Yeah.
Video's still up.
Yeah. That's
funny.
That. Yep, it's still up. So anyway.
It's crazy.
I always tell people, if somebody does something once to you, they do something that's bad or they're mean or they yell at you and they go, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean that. That isn't me. You know, something came over me. I want you to realize that that is never the case. It's always part of a pattern. People never, ever do something just once. They will do it again and again and again. It reveals something about them. If you tell somebody suddenly, you suspect that they're an envy, and you tell them of some good news that's happened to you, for a split second, you will notice a slight frown on their face, slight sign of unpleasantness, like they swallowed a lemon. And they'll disguise with a smile. I swear if you're aware of it, you'll see it. On the other hand, if you tell them something bad happened, I didn't get that job, or I lost the mortgage in my house, for a moment you'll detect a slight smile, a slight look of pleasure. It only lasts for half a second. There's a guy named Paul Ekman who writes about emotions, and he's coined the expression microexpressions. And he literally can show you photographs of what they look like. They're very fast because people can't help but feel a little bit of excitement when you tell them bad news, or feel a little bit of pain when you tell them something good about yourselves. I always tell.
I call so much bullshit on this guy because people they don't have to get stuck in a pattern. They can learn and do better and grow and evolve as people. And that's just like a cop out for people to be and stay shitty. And then also it's like, oh, people smile because you're telling them bad news and they love it. Or maybe they're listening to you and they have a smile for a second because they think you're about to say something and then it turns out bad, so it fades. Like,
or they might have thought of something funny accidentally.
Right.
That fucking happens. I experienced that. It's like,
yeah. There's a lot of
this is a bad time for that thought. I'm going to try to push it away.
A lot of people that are into psychology are fucking not good people also.
And there's cursed with knowledge. Like, you can be too smart, and then people are people, so you combine those things. It's like,
Well, the whole psychiatry thing and the tests they used to perform on people and all the abuse they make their patients endure,
Yeah.
Yep.
It's sad.
Yeah.
I don't like so much of psychology I don't agree with, and that's one reason that I personally don't care for therapists.
Yeah. I can see that.
Psychology, I think it's kind of in its infancy. Sort of like medicine used to be when we did like torturous things to heal people and all that whatnot. It's still very young, and it does a lot of terrible things because of it.
Yeah. And now we live in an age where a lot of people really like to assume that they just figured it out. You know what I mean? It's like,
oh yeah, they know everything.
Don't look into it anymore. We figured it out.
Yeah.
So.
That's
anyway.
true of every age, though. Pretty much every age thinks they've got everything figured out until they found out they didn't figure anything out.
Yeah. For real.
This whole time, I've learned nothing.
Oh
yeah. Dude, there's so much like people in so many.
I'm tripping the name of that show.
Behave. Have that minimized there. There was a couple clips that YouTube had to mute out the audio. But somehow technology is so crazy that somehow they got our commentary to stay. So like, I don't know how they did that.
Huh.
Yeah, they can just delete the music and they do it for you. Just like, oh, well, we can delete that song out of the video so we can see the whole video and hear us talking and hear the people in the video even talking.
Yeah. The people in the video were talking, we were talking, and there was music playing behind it, and it somehow like got only the music out, and like it was never there.
That's what that reality show's about, babe, if you want to talk about it.
Okay. Monkey Life is a reality show where a bunch of people went over to India to make a documentary. And that's what this video reminds me of. They went over to India to make a documentary, and they were just studying the monkeys there because there's so many in the streets and stuff that like humans live alongside them there. You know, like the monkeys just have free reign in the temples, for example. And when they were
monkeys or apes? Because
monkeys.
Okay.
Yeah. There wasn't like gorillas or chimpanzees or whatever.
Okay, just making sure because we're watching a video on gorillas. So.
Right. There was actual monkeys, and when they were studying them, they realized they're so human-like, and there's so much drama between them that all they really had to do was name them and pay attention, and it kind of turned into like a dramatic story, and so they
had names and stuff too at the beginning.
Yep. So instead of like a Planet Earth style documentary, they decided to make like a sitcom out of actual monkeys.
That's funny.
It's really entertaining too.
I didn't even hear about.
Oh, sorry.
Oh no, go ahead.
So it kind of reminds me of a documentary I watched. There's actually about wolves. I think it was like the wolves of where was it? Yellowstone. Yeah, Wolves of Yellowstone Park, I think it was called. But it actually followed a certain pack that hunted in that area, and they ended up being driven out by another pack. And the way they told it, it was almost like a story in of itself. With
awesome.
There's a young wolf that was part of the pack that grew up and then actually ended up taking over the pack and bringing them back and driving the other wolves out.
Dude, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
That's exactly like the monkey show, dude. That's exactly like the monkey show. Like invading monkeys come and take the temple, you know what I mean? Away from the bloodline that held it for so long, and like then they're just a bunch of Ronin wandering around the city. And yeah, dude, it's so fascinating. All right. It takes a village to bad parent, and I will do my part.
What?
So I just saw a video that unfortunately I can't stitch. I'll try and tag the creator in the comments if I can find the video again because my FYP reset. And she was talking about how a little kid learned the word bitch from a bumper sticker on her car and was just going bitch, 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 bitch. So I want to tell this story about a date night me and my wife had that was ruined by a table of yuppies nearby. So this is 12, 13, 15 years ago, something like that. And me and my wife are out at this restaurant in the suburbs because I was working in the suburbs. And there was this huge table of adults. And it was very clearly one of the adults' birthdays. And it was like that typical, like, relatively, if not decently, affluent white people that all have their first kid. And they're all friends because they have their first, tons of them. And the kids are being absolute shithead monsters in this restaurant, and the servers are mad and they're running around, and I'm just like, and my wife's like, don't say anything, don't you say anything. And I was like, okay, you got it, yes ma'am, I will keep my mouth shut. And the kids are running around and they're yelling and they're making a scene, and the manager says something to them, and the family's like, well, if this is a family restaurant, blah, blah, blah. So the manager's like, fuck it, it's not worth it, we're a corporate chain, I'm not making this mess. And I'm just watching, and my wife is like, let's just have a good time. And I'm trying, but I'm also getting really mad. And the kids are running around this section of the dining room. And I'm just like, center yourself, woosah, calm yourself, count to 10, 5 things I can feel, 4 things I can taste. Like, I'm trying to calm down because the parents are making me really mad. I'm not mad at the kids. The kids are acting like children, but they shouldn't be acting that crazy in a restaurant. I don't expect silence like my parents did or all boomers did, but I do want the kids to at least let other people eat in peace. And the kids start playing tag and they're running around. And we were in a booth along a window, and one of the kids jumps into my wife's side of the booth to get away from another kid and bumps her while she's eating and makes a little bit of a mess. And she gives me the look, and I swear it was like in 300 when the wife goes, I'm going to kick him in the hole. And I go, hey, come here. And the kid like goes to her, I'm like, you're not in trouble. You're not, come here. And the kid comes over, I'm like, hey, where's your mom? And the kid points. I'm like, could you do me a favor? Could you go ask her what fuck means? And the kid duly turns, does not take a step, and goes, Mom! And she looks over and goes, what does fuck mean? And the whole dining room is like, and she goes, don't say that. And he goes, why can't I say fuck? And the kid, he clearly just learned the word. He was very young. And I'm like, perfect. And the lady's giving me the death face, and she's like, you can't say that. And he's like, why? And she's trying to explain the curse word, and she calls him over, and she goes, I hope you're happy with yourself. And I go, hey, as long as I get a peaceful dinner, I don't care. If that little motherfucker comes over here again, I'm teaching him a new word, and it's going to start with an N or a C. And the table sat in silence, and they reeled all their kids in.
That's a good.
Would I have taught the kid those words? Oh, of course not. I'm an asshole. I'm not a monster. But it did work, and I did get to enjoy my meal in peace. And they were mad, and they were death staring me. And a couple of the dads were giving me the I'll take you outside face. And I looked at one of them, and I went, and then he didn't, because I'm not the type of guy you do that shit with. And they left, and they paid their bill, And the manager came over right after they were gone and went, I'd like to speak to you now that that table's gone. And my wife knew we were in trouble. And I'm like, what's up, man? And he goes, are you the gentleman that cursed at the child and then got the family to be quiet? I went, yes, sir, I am. And he went, I have to tell you, that was not an appropriate thing to do. And I said, I understand that, sir. Would you like me to leave? And he goes, no. I'm like, I didn't think you did. And he's like, would you guys like dessert? I'm like, we would love to see a dessert menu. And they comp me the dessert. So there's no way the internet's going to see this. But those people are the right age to be on the internet. And if you know that story and that was your kid, know that they comped my dessert. They comped all my wife's drinks. And they gave us a 50% discount on the meal because we got your shithead kids to behave. So yeah, sometimes teaching kids curse words is a good thing. And a part 2 teaching kids curse words if you stayed this long. This is like an after credits scene. I live in Baltimore and I was in the Inner Harbor and I was going to a concert at a venue called Soundstage and I was wearing a shirt for the band Fishbone. And it has their logo right where I've got the lovely patron St. Dolly's face here. And it says fuck real big here. And under the bottom it says racism. And this woman in the Inner Harbor, who is absolutely a suburbanite, absolutely a county woman, not a city woman, goes, do you really think that shirt's appropriate to wear in front of kids? And I go, do you really think it's appropriate for kids to be in the Inner Harbor at 11 o'clock on a Saturday night? And she looks at me and I look at the boys and I go, how old are you guys? And they're like 12. And I go, man, they're 12 in like 2020 or whatever year it was. I'm like, they know the word fuck. And if they didn't, which they do, learning it about racism is like the perfect spot, don't you think? And this woman grabbed her kid's arms and just over to the elevator to the garage. So there's your after credits.
So yeah, that's actually a good idea.
Yeah.
That was
handled it well.
Yeah, good little story there. The best part is he's like, I didn't think you did. I didn't think you wanted it. I didn't think so. This one is pretty good too.
You're not gonna believe what I just found washed up on the beach. I stopped in my tracks. I don't even know if you can see it. One sec. Guys, it's my effing wallet that went overboard last year.
That's crazy.
That's nuts.
Yeah.
The zipper is pretty darn corroded. I'm gonna have to take that home.
Wild.
Oh, I knew it would happen eventually.
Reality is certainly strange.
Oh my gosh.
Dude, yeah. This is a movie
cannot
plot.
believe this, and I held out hope. I held out hope that this would come into shore because I've got the dogs with me. It went overboard out here. And I spent $250 to have a diver go look for it.
Oh, jeez.
And he couldn't find it because there was so much eelgrass. Oh my gosh, there's definitely cards in there I didn't replace because I was like, maybe. Why spend the money to replace the cards when I might find that wallet?
That's hilarious.
And
Why
I
spend
found
the money
it.
to replace the cards when I can spend $250 to find it? Goddamn.
Yeah. Let's just invest in scuba divers. But yeah, I get it.
It's wild.
Yeah. We got another wild one coming up right here. Literally.
Oh, now he don't want to get out.
There was another video where where it was in the car and they're all like,
wow, he's big. Holy shit.
Oh yeah.
Well,
yeah.
now go check your car.
He goes where he wants.
Yeah. Because what are you going to do about it?
Yeah.
I want to go with him, but I can't.
Thank God it wasn't our good car. That's all I got to say.
Oh, you got your other car. It's like in there. It's crazy.
Yep. He's going to take a drive.
You got all the lights on him and stuff.
he's looking for snacks. Poor thing got like shut in there though. That's not fun.
Yeah, and at least it looked like a black bear, judging by like the size and the color, but it could have been brown.
I mean, it looked like a black bear, yeah.
I thought it was a brown bear, but isn't that why they're so afraid? Because I think those are the really aggressive ones.
Yeah, the brown bears are known to mess around a little bit.
Any bear you get around their cubs and fuck around, you're gonna find out.
Yeah, definitely. But any animal can be agitated if they're locked in the car. So.
Oh yeah, yeah, for sure. And on the note of bears, polar bears literally hunt people.
I believe it.
That's crazy.
I've heard they're like the nastiest of them all.
They're pretty, because they're starving. They don't give a shit. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like
more.
It's like what?
No.
Oh, sorry.
It's like Haiti.
You're good.
Yeah.
I'm just struggling because my glasses, for some reason, look like fishbowl lenses. So it's like I couldn't tolerate my contacts, but just like looking at everything looks like a fun house. It's so fucked up. And I never had an issue with glasses doing this until like a few years back. And I have gotten every kind of lens. I've gotten they can't figure out why. That's so weird.
That is weird.
More unethical life hacks.
I'm
Go
still
to
listening,
Google
though.
and jump into any chat room. Start up a conversation with some people, and 10, 15 minutes into that conversation, tell that person that you're a 15-year-old. If that person continues the conversation, get a little deeper into it. Eventually, have them meet you up in a public place like Taco Bell or something like that. When it's time to meet up with them, have your buddy come with you and videotape the whole thing. You go up to that person and you have all the conversations that y'all had printed out on paper and tell them, if you give me $1,000 right now, I'll delete everything and I won't call the cops. 8 times out of 10, that person's going to give you $1,000. Then have your buddy upload the video to YouTube so you can gain some more money from it. And if you want, you can always call the cops. Follow me for more.
I think I'm gonna start doing that because the way I see it, they can't afford to pay to abuse or buy a child if they're getting extorted for that money and it's going to me instead.
That's true. That's true.
They're like, damn, I got too many extortions. I got to balance this.
I was like, at first in the one house, like, that's extortion. But I was like, but it's a pedo, so.
I'm saying I'd extort a pedo.
So then it becomes an unethical life hack.
A P3 deal.
A little bit ethical.
Yeah, slightly ethical.
What was it?
Arguably ethical. P3 deal.
P3 deal?
Yeah, P3.
Oh, right.
Yeah, P3 deals. I like that term. That was a good term. It's a good dodging term.
Yeah.
It has been over 3 years since I made this video.
Oh, I have strong opinions.
Babe,
Oh, yeah.
ask. You can take a shower. I'll watch him. And then it's weaponized incompetence. If your partner is saying, just ask me to do it, I'll do it. But they're saying that and then they do a shitty job or an unsafe job, they're not actually doing it for you. If you're forced to be the manager and you don't want to be, or you have to ask them to do stuff, and then they call you a nag, stop. Divide and conquer. No, you don't have to put up with that. If you take a shower, your kid better be safe with your partner. Not only do you deserve to meet your basic needs, your partner is there to facilitate your fulfillment. Mutual fulfillment. I want to know from you. Do you think things have changed since then? It is.
She is absolutely disgusting. How fucking much of a rude piece of shit are you where you have an issue with your husband and instead of calmly communicating that to him, you blast him on fucking social media, rile up a bunch of people to leave their partners because they deserve better, and that's weaponized incompetence.
Right.
Do you ever think maybe your husband also just had a fucking baby and he's also fucking exhausted? I'm sure he didn't try to fall asleep with the baby close to that. Like, get real.
Right.
Like, shit happens, and I think this is really unproductive and disgusting, and it kind of goes against her marriage vows, to be honest. That's not honoring your partner.
Talking shit about him on the internet.
Disgusting.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, a lot of people are doing that these days.
I'm pretty sure when she made that, right, and I'm pretty sure when she made that video, she did that right when she found him sleeping. So she probably just like walked away and made the video.
Yep. So she I don't know, it just really pisses me off. The day I fucking do something like that, like record or talk about anything like that to Andy, I hope he gives me divorce papers because that's entirely fucked up, and I'm so tired of people not taking their marriage vows seriously. No wonder so many people get divorced. They fucking give up on people over the dumbest shit ever.
No kidding.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's the divorce rate's so high because it's collectively everywhere you see anti-family rhetoric and other types of things that just generally encourage people to like not pair up and just stay infinitely, on dating apps and stuff and addicted to porn and shit like that, prawn and shit like that.
I would have just stayed single.
Right.
Well, it's just the general sense of hedonism we have in our culture right now.
True.
Like any kind of hardship, people just want to just break off. Like they don't want to deal with shit.
Right. So yeah, I mean, like, even if you get two people that generally believe in like family and marriage and stuff, I mean, movies, everything, like, just, like literally everything is kind of like, even like just between the genders, like, men, you must do this, women, you must be this way, like feminism and masculinity and shit like that. It all is just kind of like stretching it. So it's like, it doesn't surprise me that it's over 50% or whatever it is now.
I think it was 60% last I heard.
It's the ones that are remaining that stick around. The vast majority of them are extremely happy and powerful couples. So it's fine. It's like the weak ones fall away, or maybe the ones that weren't meant to be. Sometimes life changes happen too. So it's
true.
It's a very gray area. Like, don't go King Henry on it, but it should probably still be an option for those who need it. So that's this next one.
So I have a thought that's going to blow the minds of everyone, but I want you to think about it from hindsight point of view.
This is a good
Not
one.
everything you've been programmed to think. If you look at everything that's happening with people that hurt kids,
Good way to put it.
all these major corporations, Disney, Nickelodeon,
Glad she
all the shit that's
Disney.
coming out.
Yep,
Every childhood actor who ended up crazy or on drugs, they're now coming out in their mid-30s with the truth. You tell me that they weren't painted out to be crazy because they knew too much or they questioned something. Now, that's not the crazy part. One of those childhood actors is a successful father, married to another successful childhood actor, and he has absolutely nothing to lose by telling his truth. But you know what? What he had to say is not what we all thought. Macaulay Culkin, the kid from Home Alone, he was close, along with several other children, to Michael Jackson. Hear me out. He has nothing to lose by telling his truth because they've all told their truth in other ways. But you know what the only thing he's ever said about Michael Jackson is? That he has felt safe and respected by him more than anyone else. He was never in danger, felt like he was in danger. He was never mistreated. And you know what I think? Here's where it's coming all to fruition. My thought is that Michael Jackson was painted out to be sick because he had too much exposure and too much money to be a voice for these kids. I think he truly took his money and made a safe place for children because he knew too much. Why would these childhood actors that have outed everyone and everything else not out a guy who's dead?
Yeah.
They have nothing to lose.
Right. That's a good point.
And they stand by him because I truly think
They still stand by him.
that maybe he was their only escape. He understood them and he used his international voice and his money to build a place where they and their parents felt safe. Now, you tell me, with everything we know now, that wouldn't make perfect sense, that they would make him out to be crazy or disgusting.
He's not playing
just
ball.
to hide the truth.
Right. And he's
They've
sheltering them.
abused children. So you tell me that they're not going to try to smudge the name of an adult international pop star that knows too much. They're going to make him out to be sick.
Yeah.
Because he could have
He'll do anything.
ruined them. Then he died.
Yeah.
Do what you will with that.
Yep.
And had like
But you tell me why these childhood actors who have no reason not to say what they need to say about a pop star who's dead, But they're willing to say all the truth about these guys that are still running around in the industry. No.
Right.
No. I think everything we've ever been told is ass backwards, and the truth is coming out. 2024 is going to be crazy.
Yeah.
You watch.
So, Michael Jackson, I've heard a lot of bad stuff about his, I think it was dad that was the manager and like the Jackson 5 and stuff. I'm sure he was abused and I know he was put through hell as a child.
Yeah.
He was probably SA'd too and all of that stuff. And so it makes sense that he would want to provide a safe place for these people, you know?
Yeah.
And the only person to accuse him came back later. I believe it was after he was already dead. But they came out after that and said they lied.
Yeah.
So he had no accusers.
Yeah.
Besides one person that said, yeah, I lied.
Yeah, like back then it was easy to believe that stuff because it was so out there and outlandish. But after the whole Me Too bullshit started going on and everyone left and right's being accused, it's easy to kind of look back and go, maybe the rest of it is bullshit too.
Yeah. And it's, you know, somebody who's like generally eccentric, like a pop star or whatever, like, you know, Prince also,
right?
All these guys. You really, you know, they're eccentric. You can easily paint a picture in the media, and that's like before social media really took off. You know, before it was in third world countries and stuff.
Yep, he was building a sanctuary, so naturally they didn't like that. They're like, no, we don't want those kids safe with you.
Right.
Yeah.
We want our grubby fucking hands on them.
Yeah. It just kind of interesting that one point, like, nobody continued to say anything after the fact. Yeah. And then he died and still nobody said anything. So, and they still defend him. Oh, okay. All that is really weird and interesting. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What's up, y'all? So, I made a mistake that ended
Oh,
up costing
this
me
was just something I said for another reason.
Oh, okay.
So pause it. I just want everyone to know that basically, long story short, he had this little metal piece, and his bearded dragon ate it and passed.
Oh.
So if you have a bearded dragon, they will eat little trinkets and stuff like that. So
Yeah, he said they pick up and eat anything.
yep. So also, it probably isn't good for them. It's not good for birds for sure.
Yeah.
But I recently saw a video about cooking with Teflon being bad for birds, and it killed some lady's bird. And I've known that, but I've rescued birds for many years, so I already knew that. But yeah, do not cook with Teflon. Don't cook with those plastic liners you put in your crock pots, and don't use oil diffusers or candles or anything. Scentsy wax melts, I used those and never had an issue. So, but yeah, when you have birds, they're so fragile, and you really have to cater to that.
I mean, that is why they used to bring birds or canaries into mines, was because they're so sensitive like that.
Yeah, they're so fragile.
So they just, the canary dropped. We gotta get the fuck out of here. No oxygen.
Yep.
Time to go.
Yeah. So.
And I looked at all four of them and I said,
shit.
Are y'all crazy? I said, what you think I'm gonna do? Tell you that Michael did something bad so that we can sue him for money? That's what I told him. I was like, and I looked over at my mom and I was like, are you serious, Mom? I was like, what is going on here? Why are you letting this happen? And she goes, well, I think something happened, I think something. I'm like, really? That man did nothing but be hospitable, kind, loving, giving, everything you can think of. We rode 4-wheelers for 5 hours, me, him, and Chris Tucker in the mountains at nighttime after his birthday party. Him and I hung out and talked pretty much all night. Got a couple hours of sleep. I wake up, but he's not even in the room. He pulled out a cot for me in his room because I asked him, I was like, I want to hang out with you. I want to be around. It was Michael. Yeah. I want to hang out with Michael. I wanted to hang out with Michael. He pulled out a little cot or something. I laid on the cot. I wake up in the morning. His bed's made. There's a cleaning lady that wakes me up. I keep asking, "Where's Michael?" I go over. He's got this huge statue figurine that Michael Jordan sent him for his birthday because he collected that stuff. Went and smoked some weed with him. Get in the car, and then all this shit happened when I got back to LA, and I'm like, "What the fuck is this?" I was like, and I looked at my mom. I go, "Are you really trying to go at Michael and use me for a money grab?" I was like, "Nothing." And I looked at him right now. I said, "Nothing happened." I said, "Michael was flirting with girls right in front of me."
Yeah, look at that.
Actually,
Girls love him.
and it was hilarious because he was very charming.
I bet it's Michael Jackson.
He made girls just light up, blush, and and like I saw him looking at girls' booty. I said, I saw you looking at her booty. He was like, I was like, and so I hear these stories of like Wade Robson, and then I'm like thinking to
That's
myself,
the
wait, hold up.
accuser that came
I
up
know
with
Wade Robson. And I'm like, wait, hold up. Wade leaving Neverland? What is this? Like, what do you mean leaving Neverland? Like, I left Neverland. Everything was cool, homie. Like, what's your problem? Did you dream this up? Did your parents tell you to do this?
Yeah, I mean, they try to sue for like 100 million, and ultimately it was dropped. They got nothing out of it, as they should.
Nothing.
As they
That
should.
dude didn't do shit like that.
Yeah.
Like, I knew Michael better than all of them.
Yeah, I believe
even
everything that I've
Macaulay,
seen.
if it was Macaulay right now,
I'm not buying it.
Even if it
I'm
was
not buying
Macaulay
it.
Culkin sitting right here, he would tell you the same thing I did with the same assertiveness.
Yeah.
Yep. And the world owes Michael Jackson a massive fucking apology.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
probably.
Yeah, it is just very odd. You could totally imagine a scenario where like the P3DOs kind of set that up. They see that he cares about kids so much or whatever, and they set that up. Like every parent, they talk to every single one, and you know, somebody eventually says okay.
Mm-hmm.
This one.
But it's right.
All right.
There's like nothing to lose anymore, you know?
Drill into your cup holder. Perfect. Awesome. Now do it a little bit further into your fucking car, all the way through. That's normal, of course. Sorry to spoil it, guys. Spoilers here, but we're going to urinate into a cup in our car so we don't have to stop because we're a little baby. All right, drill into that Stanley Cup. Sorry to all you Stanley Cup fans. Okay, put a tube down there. Awesome. Very cool. Okay, we might need to lube that up a little bit, actually. But get the Stanley Cup on there first. Okay, do something a little questionable. Okay, cool. Put that there. Go under your car real quick. Drill into your fucking exhaust pipe. Perfect. Awesome. Pull that through. Cut it. Yes. Awesome. Pull it through more. Zip tie it. Pull it through your exhaust pipe completely. Put it in there. Oh, awesome. Now explain how you're going to urinate because you're a little child and you can't stop for 2 seconds to go to the bathroom in a restroom. You're going to pee into a Stanley Cup. Show us what that would look like because we can't understand it. We can't fathom it.
Show us.
Oh, amazing. Look at it go. Perfect. Okay, awesome. And then show it come out of the exhaust pipe. Gross me out. Perfect. Ooh, awesome. Just kidding. Oh, awesome. I love this guy. Hell yes. Epic sauce. Yes, perfect. I hate this. Help. I want to die. I want to pass away tonight. All right.
Here's the thing. Exhaust pipes are hot. So it's going to be hot shit coming out. That's going to stink. That is going to stink like no tomorrow.
That adds more to it. And it's his piss too, so everybody just gets to smell his piss.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Let's go. Let's fucking go.
Do you ever
Just
play that arcade game, Spy Hunter?
Spy Hunter?
Yeah.
No. How about you, Ben?
Nope.
It's you're basically
Spy
a car.
Hunter.
Yep, your car trying to get away from other cars and whatnot, and you have various gadgets to stop. But one of their most famous gadgets is just oil. You can spill oil. I was just thinking that the entire time with the piss.
Yeah.
Just oh man.
The oil slick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. but I love it.
You'd probably need so much oil on the road for it to actually make you hydroplane.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, but
Like speed racer shit. Like imagine having that Stanley Cup thing and then you just got like quarts of oil in your car. You're just like dumping it down in there while you're speeding.
I was just talking about doing it with pee.
Oh yeah, well that works too.
just drink several gallons before you gotta go.
Yeah. Then in the middle of the race, just there you go, guys. Eat my dust. Literally.
If you were in the future, you would give just about anything to be where you are now. To be able to go back in time, talk to the people that are still alive while they were, experience your life more fully, to stop distracting yourself from what is, and to just live, to not beat yourself up for distracting yourself when you are, because you're just a human and your nervous system is wigging out. You just gotta pet it real nice. Like, we need things, but we don't think it's okay to need the things that we need. So the needs get met subconsciously. And
What does he mean by that, I wonder?
Well, because you need things. You
What
still
do
need
you mean the
there's so
needs
much
get met?
unnecessary, unexpected pain when that happens.
I don't know.
Because you're just forced into this place, right? Like if you
may have taken some
didn't
mushrooms.
let yourself,
Oh yeah, he's on
just
something.
like didn't consciously like take the time to go out and get food, you never thought about it. At some point,
Just 4 more minutes of this.
literally spaz out. You would like basically forget what's going on.
I'm gonna give him a chance.
Like,
all right,
but he's
kill anybody in your way.
It's no
so
drinking out
just
of
go get
cups.
food.
Yeah.
Conversely, if you never take the time to heal, then at some point very far in the future, you will be forced to heal. Or you just won't be afforded that opportunity.
I was gonna say. Okay, I'm just.
So the beginning, what did he say again at the beginning?
We have needs, but
No.
we feel guilty about.
No, it's you'll when you're older, you'll look back at this time. And
Yes,
That's right.
that's what I liked about
That's a good, yeah,
it. 'Cause I'm
Yeah,
like,
that is
I
very good.
agree.
good general message.
I'll look back and and envy me here now.
Mm-hmm. And he's right.
Spending time with
Yeah.
you and Booba.
And after he
I
started
think-
talking about petting his brain, then he kind of lost the plot. But
Yeah, his nervous system is just freaking out. He said.
yeah,
His nervous system is freaking out. 1/3 of the music industry is connected to the Diddlers lawsuit. Oh, my bad.
Music industry is until I made this chart. See, I wanted to know how many of this last year's top 100 songs were produced by Universal Music Group, whose CEO is Lucien Grange, who was directly named in the recent
Yep,
P. Diddy
another
lawsuit.
fucking
They
pervert.
allege that he has hundreds of hours of video footage and audio recordings of all
Him,
of this
but, I
illegal
mean-
stuff going on, providing laced alcoholic beverages to minors and sex workers, drugging and sexually assaulting people, underage girls, shootings, all kinds of drugs and firearm. And sketchiest of all, these crazy parties being hosted in houses wired up with secret cameras in every room, like Jeffrey Epstein style.
Yep.
There's photographic evidence included in the lawsuit. Pause if you want to
Wow.
read this. And the lawsuit directly alleges that CEO of Universal Music
Should we
Group,
read that?
Lucien Grange, was attending these parties and had direct knowledge of all of the crimes, or at least
You
some
want-
of the crimes
Yeah,
that I just
agree.
mentioned. And again, this is all allegedly, according to this lawsuit, which has a lot of evidence to support it. And Lucien Grange is the CEO of Universal Music Group, which is massive. And this is just my opinion from reading the lawsuit, but it looks like what it's alleging is that Diddy, with help of associates, is acquiring blackmail on rappers that are getting signed into the industry and other musicians too, and then promoting them because they are now in the club. And so if
Yep.
the CEO of Universal Music
Epstein
Group
style.
is aware of this
Yep.
operation or in some ways involved, how much of the
Rituals.
music industry is controlled by Universal Music Group? Well, what I did is I went to the Billboard Hot
we go.
100 and I grabbed all these songs by these different artists and put them into a chart. And that chart looked like this. And then I did the research to figure out what record labels own those songs. And when it's all done, Universal controls 33 out of 2023's top 100 songs. That is 1/3 of the music on the top hits charts. And I'm not alleging that all of that music was done through this sexual blackmail scheme. I'm not alleging that it's all a direct
But still.
causal relationship. I'm just
too
pointing
many.
out how small and consolidated and tied together the music industry is and raising some questions. And just to clarify my methods real quick here at the end, I did this research by typing in the name of the song and searching for it on Google and then finding the Wikipedia page for that song specifically, and then scrolling down to the label and then tracing. So Capitol is owned by Universal Music.
wow.
So that's actually Universal on my chart.
He did.
Obviously, it's a little more complicated than that, but I just wanted to simplify it. Next, I'm going to analyze how much of that top 100s chart is controlled by a certain group that people have a lot of allegations about, see if there's any basis to those claims. And I think I'm also going to watch all the music videos for all those songs and analyze whether
Lots of
that
content
content is what you would consider wholesome or destructive to culture and people. You know, like generally perverse or promoting really bad themes. I'm pretty curious to see how that metric lines up with which record labels and which owners of those record labels. So stay tuned. And if you haven't seen my video yet about the connection between Diddy's lawsuit here and his sexual blackmail ring and the death of Michael Jackson, check that video out. It's a banger. You can find it on all my platforms except for TikTok. Go figure. I didn't realize.
Yeah, a lot of things concerning the Diddler and Michael Jackson.
Right. Yeah. No kidding. Yeah, I think you'll find a lot of the industries out there have a very similar story.
For real. And it makes you wonder, like, you got the rapper version of it over here, the rock star version of it over here, the tech entrepreneur version of it over here, you know what I mean? The political version over there. And it's like, they're probably just all stone bricks on a pyramid, you know? Just saying.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Probably all a lot of the same people.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
No wonder they get so offended when somebody doesn't want to join the club.
Yeah. Yeah. It's really sad.
That's because they're a wild card.
Hey, you too.
Yeah. And if you offered them and they said no, now they know. It's just like the Diddler's face when Tyson turned him down on TV.
Yep.
He's like, wow, what the fuck just happened? He's like, they're going to know. They're going to find out. Ridiculous.
Yeah.
Anyway.
YouTube Untamed here. So we have seen the new and used vehicle market spiral out of control over the last 5, 6, 7 months. We just saw Vroom shut their virtual doors and close up shop. We also just saw, if you live in the Pacific Northwest, Northwest Motorsports actually just closed up shop as well. And that is a huge, huge indicator of just how bad things are. So Northwest Motorsports, they have, I think it was over 11 dealerships throughout the entire Pacific Northwest, and they were all huge dealerships, and they've been around for a while. So for them to close up shop, that is another huge indicator of the direction we're going. So stick with me in this video because I've learned some new details that I want to present to you. And if you've been on the fence of buying a vehicle in 2024, you may want to hear some of these stats. And at the very end, I will perhaps present to you the most important blow to the automotive market that we're seeing right now that nobody's really talking about, but I do believe it is the most detrimental. So first, let me paint a clear picture for you. So over last year, auto payments within the United States are up 11.5%. The number of people that have a car payment over $1,000 from last year is up 18%. The entire American auto loan debt is currently at $1.6 trillion. That is up 89% over the last decade.
Wow.
Let that sink in.
So we are currently seeing the largest year-over-year increase in auto loan debt. So within the United States, we are up $71 billion in auto loan debt from 2022 to 2023. And we're actually just over that of an increase of $73 billion from 2023 to 2024. So it's a compounding issue. And both of those years are staggering numbers if you look at the big picture.
Wow.
So because of that, we are seeing the largest auto loan delinquency rates, the largest number of repossessions taking place, up 21% over last year just for repos alone.
Ours got
And
repoed.
we are also seeing the largest supply levels that we have ever seen in this nation. So we're seeing an average lot time of 70 to 80 days currently on dealership lots. They just can't move their inventory, new and used. They can't move it. Even if they incentivize the crud out of it, people just aren't being able to purchase right now. So credit scores have gone down just a little bit. Last year, the average was 719 for the average consumer buying a new vehicle. This year, it's 716. So not much of a change there. However, what we did see a huge change in is the actual interest rates that we're getting on these vehicles that we're buying, right? So with excellent credit score, you're looking at a 7 to 10% interest rate, which is already awful and a half. With a fair or good credit score, you're looking at 10 to 15% and up to 25% interest being charged if you have poor or subprime credit. That is absolutely terrible. And the interest rates get worse if you buy a used vehicle. It's a little bit better on new vehicles. And I hate even saying it like that. A little bit better? That is awful. In what world is 7 to 10% better?
Yeah.
So I mentioned how car payments are up 11.5% from last year. And I also mentioned how there is a huge increase of people who are spending over $1,000 for their car payment now. Currently, the average car payment within the U.S. is $762. That is huge,
Wow.
right? When you say that out loud,
Ridiculous.
762 is the average.
I don't understand how people can pay that.
I know. I jokingly said it's another rent payment, and then she pointed out it's like, no, it's not even.
It's like a third.
Yeah.
It's sickening. I remember getting, when I got my car an SUV, a compact SUV, brand new, I also financed an unlimited year, unlimited mile, bumper to bumper warranty with like no deductible, like the best warranty you could get. And the total was like $40,000. And my monthly car payment was $530, and people were like, "You're fucking insane. That's so high." And talked all this shit. And yeah, you're not supposed to. Anyway.
I own a junker, so I don't even worry about all that shit.
That's the way to do it, man.
I agree.
Yeah, that's probably why there's such a noticeable dent in it, because a lot of people, like, just the way our culture is, we're going to keep pumping out new cars.
Right.
And I think we do that a lot more than they get like sold and rotated and stuff. So like, I think it's just like a breaking point where it's like it's boiling over.
Yep.
And I feel like it was on purpose, because how could you not see something like that coming? If you're just going to pump out as many as possible with no end in sight, what do you think is going to happen? It's going to inflate.
These people don't have a lot of foresight. If you listen to how these people act and how they talk, they think in quarters. How do I make more money this quarter? How do I make more money this quarter? They don't think about what's going to happen tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. Or like where the cars end up.
Right. They don't care. Like, they just want to make money today. And then a lot of the CEOs of these companies, they fly away on their golden parachute while everything's burning.
Oh yeah. And onto their islands. But yeah, it's just like we made 10 cars this year. Can we do 20 next year? And then can we do 30 after that? And
I mean, there's only so many people to sell to.
Yeah. So, which means that's why it's intentional, because like if you have that sort of model where you just keep doubling down and trying to push it more out, and you're just like, oh, it'll be okay, we'll just sell more, and that's how business works. That's not the case. It's like it's almost like managing a war. You have to like have all the resources and like actual foresight. You actually do have to have foresight, and like I don't know.
You'd think.
I can't help but feel like it's on purpose.
You would think.
It never works that way in any industry you look at.
Yeah,
exactly.
are a horrible person. And the topic of today's video hurts especially, not just because they're not here with us anymore, but because on all accounts that I have read, he was a very good person. And that person was Chester Bennington.
Okay.
We know Chester as being a
Oh, yeah.
vocalist for Linkin Park, with one of the most recognizable voices in music, and I would argue one of the strongest vocalists that music has ever seen. And
Yep.
from all the research that I've
Yeah.
done, Chester seems to have a clean slate. So since my research brought nothing of the negative sort up, I would instead like to take this time to talk about all of the good things Chester Bennington did in his lifetime. For starters, when Chester first joined Linkin Park, the label Warner Brothers wanted him to immediately fire Mike Shinoda to make Chester the sole face of the band, and Chester responded to the label execs with, quote, "You guys, are you serious? I've only just got into the band and you're telling me to start a coup against the guy who writes all the music? It's his band. If he could sing, I wouldn't
Right.
have a job. You fucking idiots. What's wrong with you?"
Respect.
He would also get really sick on tour a lot of the time. One report mentions how at one point he had a really painful hernia, and many nights he would push through and just keep performing and singing, which would then aggravate his hernia, which would make him spend a lot of the time throwing up. So the fact that you are pushing
Yeah.
through hernia pain and forcing yourself
Been
to
there.
throw
Done that.
up while you're on tour and performing
No, the
says a lot
hernia.
about somebody's character and how much they care about their fans. In 2011, after the Tucson shooting, he spoke out against gun violence, saying, quote, "I personally feel that violence and war and murder are primitive, and I think that we've evolved as a species beyond that. Unfortunately, some people still feel that's a means to an end. Peace and love and communication are the way that we all resolve our issues with each other. There's a non-violent way to express yourself and get your point across, regardless of what you're saying or what your point is." He also painted pictures
pretty
with his son
centrist
so he
view.
could auction
I
them
like
off
it.
for charity to fight cancer. In 2013, he received the Stevie Ray Vaughan Award for his work helping recovering addicts through the MusiCares MAP Fund. And that fund is an organization that is committed to working with other addicts in the addiction recovery process, and it helps musicians with everything from housing to dental and doctor visits and
So
assistance
cool.
with critical
Right.
illnesses. He also worked endlessly to break the stigma associated with mental health, which, if there are any younger viewers who watch my videos, the idea of speaking about somebody's mental health openly is a very new sort of introduction into society that's just become normalized. And he had been speaking about it for years. In many interviews, he had been very explicit about the emotions he feels when he's left alone and talking about how his brain will turn on him at the flip of a switch. He had no problem talking about these things because he knew that other people out there would feel that way and it would make them know that they were not alone. And the last thing I'll talk about in this one is just the fact that he was an incredible father. He had 6 children,
What do you
and
say,
according to his son's interviews, he was just an amazing father and loved all of his kids.
But I think
And
my
personally, I
contacts look
find it to
something up,
be an
so
absolute
I'll put
shame
those
that he
in
is no
because I
longer
can't
with
deal with
us.
not
After
being able to
Chester's
have my
passing,
eyes
a lot of
open.
musicians had spoken out about him on
Luckily,
social
while
media,
listening to,
and Metallica
you know,
drummer
most
Lars
of them are
Ulrich
people
had
talking.
written he was
Yeah.
gracious, kind, and humble, a rare combination in rock and roll. For somebody like me, who for this channel does a lot of research and finds out a lot of horrible, horrible things about musicians, I don't think I could have said that better myself.
Yeah, he was quite the individual.
Yeah, sounds like it.
Yeah. You ever get down with Linkin Park?
Oh yeah, I enjoy Linkin Park.
Yeah.
Grew up with that shit. That's good stuff.
Yeah, dude. I used to warm up to a couple of them. In the End was my jam to like warm up with. I would since it's so rhythmic, it's so cut and dry, verse, chorus, singing, rhythm. You know what I mean? All the parts are clearly defined. It was super fun to like turn all the rapping parts into screaming, and just like really stretch out my vocal cords. You know, practicing.
Right.
And you know, also practicing my breathing, going from very like it's rapping, so like pretty pacey, rhythmic vocals, breathing like that into a singing chorus,
Okay.
and then back into those kind of rhythmic vocals again. It's like it's a fun little exercise, you know. Test your stamina. You got to control your airflow differently. Yeah. A lot of people might be like, that's cheesy karaoke song or something. No, it's pretty dope. Actually, it translates over pretty good to metal. Like, really good. You just scream all the rapping, and then if you like tossed a single breakdown in there, don't even really need to with any Linkin Park songs. Honestly, it's all really good. So I'd say just like maybe detune the guitars a little bit more so they sound a little deeper. Then it just turns super metal, bro.
Nice,
Linkin
nice.
Park's shit. Yeah. How about she's putting her contacts in?
Okay.
How's
Well, I was remembering something when they're talking about the hernia part, which was kind of
Yeah.
interesting. Like I was taking a jazz appreciation class a while ago, and I'll tell you it actually worked. But it was a story about a guy named Chick Webb.
Say again?
Chick Webb. He's part of the Benny Goodman band.
Yeah.
But he had I think it was multiple sclerosis.
Yeah.
Yep. MS.
So, yep, he had MS, but he was the drummer, and he would play, and he'd be play so powerfully they had to actually bolt the drums down on the stage.
Oh wow!
But he'd be in excruciating pain afterwards.
I believe it, dude. You got MS.
Yeah.
And you, yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, dude obviously loved what he did, though. If he was going to put himself through that, and just a lot of respect for that.
The integrity, yeah.
Yeah, no kidding.
And I relate to that pretty hard too. I was longboarding before a show one time, and I fell and like face planted, and my entire like shoulder was just effed up. So I ended up having to like play I had a show that night, and I ended up having to play the entire show like basically one-handed, like with this arm kind of like tucked back in this way. And yeah, what I did is I just kind of like masked it, like however was the most comfortable way for me to stand. I kind of owned it like it was a stance,
right?
You know what I mean? And I just kind of got the right face, the war face going, and kind of got into it, So nobody ended up noticing, but I fucking felt it, dude. Ugh.
I caved and I put my last pair of new contacts in. It's so weird because I don't feel like I have contacts in my eyes. Like they're so comfortable, and I've been like fucking with my contacts for like 2 months. So it feels so good.
I bet.
Yeah, I believe it.
And then I don't have like the fishbowl funhouse looking effect and the things, because when I have my glasses on and the headphones, it like it presses them into my temples so hard.
Oh.
Okay. That feels
Things you
good
didn't know
now.
that you didn't know, part 9. 75% of the mass of a human brain is made up of a substance called myelin. And myelin is made up 100% by cholesterol.
Huh.
Yep.
I'll leave it there. On a separate and completely unrelated subject, Alzheimer's disease is a neurodegenerative brain disease which destroys brain cells. Now, Alzheimer's never existed until 1979.
Wow.
And yet now it is one of the leading causes of death in Western societies.
Wow.
On a separate and completely unrelated subject, margarine was first invented in 1869 because Napoleon wanted a cheaper and longer lasting fat for his armies to travel with. It didn't gain popularity until the Second World War, when butter and other animal fats were scarce. Grew in popularity in the 50s, but by the 70s, the animal fats in it had been replaced with vegetable oils.
Yeah, oils. Yeah.
Right.
Because
so it's not a fat.
Animal fats contain saturated fat and a lot of cholesterol. So they wanted to offer a lower cholesterol alternative. I'll leave it there. On a separate and completely unrelated subject, margarine is one molecule away from being plastic.
Oh.
Now, as any chemist will tell you, one molecule can make a huge difference to the finished compound.
True.
Take ethanol and methanol, for example.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
One molecule difference, but very, very, very different results.
Don't drink wood alcohol.
Ingested into the human body.
Right.
So I'll leave it there. On a separate and completely unrelated subject, A simple experiment to do at home is to take a slab of butter, a slab of vegetable margarine with no animal fats in, and a slab of plastic, and stick them all outside in your garden and have a look what happens. Very quickly, all the wildlife in the area is going to be attracted to that butter, from the flies and the beetles and the mini beasts through the birds, the rodents,
me,
all the way up to the apex predators,
the
foxes,
cryptids, like
badgers,
you just get like a
bears.
rake and a
If there
chupacabra
happens to be
after the
no
butter.
wildlife
Dipping
around,
some
then
popcorn in.
bacteria and mold will very, very quickly consume it because it's easily digestible for all organic life forms.
Wow.
The margarine and the plastic will sit there for weeks. Nothing in nature will touch them. Try it.
My grandma got.
Completely unrelated subject.
I'm starting to think his subjects are related.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
GPs out there to check your patient's medical records and see how many of your dementia and specifically Alzheimer's patients have been on statins and or low cholesterol diets for many years.
Yeah.
I'd be very interested to hear your feedback in the comments.
So
And I'll leave it there. Have a fabulous day.
my grandma
Things
got
you didn't know.
Alzheimer's really bad, and she bought butter, but she only had margarine. Like I only
Wow.
ever. Yep.
Wow.
That's why I saved this video and I was like, holy shit. Because I only eat butter and I've always been really afraid to get Alzheimer's really bad again. Or like she did. Like, when it's things like that are in your family, you can't help but be afraid you're going to lose your mind. And it's a scary thought. But we have butter in this house.
Our butter
Good.
house.
Well, interesting thing about the process with which they use to actually make the margarine.
Yeah.
They're adding stuff in there to actually have it solidify. But so
So gross.
Yeah.
But so there's the way the chemicals are actually shaped, the way just the way it's shaped, way the things that are in there. It goes from a cis, which means they're trying to say it in a easily understandable way. Basically, the arms of the chemical are on the different sides, to trans, which they're both on the same side.
Yeah.
So when that happens, it tends to bend and group together and get stuck in places a lot easier. It causes a lot of problems.
Yeah. So like builds up is what you're saying?
Yeah, it builds up and it reacts differently because it's chemically different, more or less.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that thing about the margarine in the garden too. I'm sure there's bacteria, but maybe not. I don't.
Yeah. Just
It's
like if
probably
you
some
think
of them.
McDonald's out there, it'll probably just be there 20 years later.
Yeah, McDonald's. Hey, there's that Big Mac.
Unless a dog comes along to eat it.
Oh, for sure.
So this comment, someone left a comment, and this is her video response, but their comment is really how long before you kick the bucket. Like, it's not cute or funny at all to say shit like that. And by the way, if you think you're a troll, you're wrong. You don't troll unless you're funny. That shit's not funny. So you did a huge, massive fucking fail, and you're a disgusting person. And there's nothing remotely cute about, like, you're literally proud of being a scumbag, bottom feeding, just horrible person. And it's wild how people take pride in being such an evil person. Like, you're worthless, you're embarrassing, like, it's disgusting.
Yeah, usually trolls dunk. You're not dunking in this case, you're just being a dick.
Yeah. It's really sad. Listen to how much grace she has.
Yeah.
Hi, this person has asked, how long until I kick the bucket? I didn't come with an expiration date, so I don't know. But my diagnosis is terminal and my prognosis is poor. Hi.
Very well said. I think come with an expiration date.
Yep.
Yeah,
like
it made
that.
me so sad though.
That's the right attitude to have.
Definitely.
Yeah, you can tell she's a beautiful person.
Okay, folks, I've been to CERN. CERN is very, very weird. I was actually there a couple of years ago when Russ Dizdar was still alive, well before COVID. So we're there at CERN and we're being
Videos
taken by a docent
I was
who's
working
like
on the thing I'm
basically
going to
just
reveal
parroting
after the
Oh,
stream.
what
well,
he's been
well, I
told to
told
say.
you to.
So we're in this
I was trying to
place
speed it up.
where the statue of Shiva, Shiva is the Indian god of death, basically
All
the
this
destroyer. And I look at the docent and I go, what's this doing here? He has no answer for it at all. Basically, here's
never
the
do.
bottom line, and this is something that we need to really delve into here. CERN is built on the site of the ancient temple of Apollyon. Tom Horn, who passed away last year, very untimely, wrote about this. So CERN is at this ancient temple. They're going to open up and start using CERN or testing it the day of the eclipse.
What?
I mean, what are we looking at here?
Kidding me?
Is that
What?
deliberate? In my opinion, it's absolutely deliberate. Something is going on.
What?
Here's what I think is going on.
Yeah.
They, the powers that be, are opening up CERN in coordination with the eclipse to open up a gateway, a portal. And that's what I think these sites really are all about. Now, when you go to the Serpent Mound in Ohio, it doesn't look anything like CERN, but it's ancient. And it's just in Ohio. And it's the longest serpent effigy on the planet.
Yeah.
Now, some people will dispute that. That's fine. But it's the one that I go to.
It's pretty interesting.
And that serpent mound is, the serpent is undulating. And the serpent's mouth is open like this.
Yep. And it's eating
Guess
the
what?
stuff.
The whole thing is built on the solstices, the equinoxes. They're big into this.
It's eating
And
the
these
stuff.
sites are charged. The site at CERN is charged. The Serpent Mount in Ohio is a charged site. If you want to know more, check out our On the Trail of a Nephilim series, number 2, Secrets of the number 3, Secrets of the Supernatural. Thanks so much for watching. I am L.A. Marzulli.
Okay, CERN's a company, not a place. He's talking about the Large Hadron Collider.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. CERN is the company.
thanks
Yeah.
for clarifying that.
I think he comes off as genuine. So I think he just got scatterbrained there, as far as that goes.
I mean, maybe.
You know, but
You said it
I think he believes what he's saying.
but
I'm sure he believes it. A lot of people
Yeah,
believe
yeah.
what they say.
Oh yeah. You know about Serpent Mound?
I've heard about it. Yeah, a little bit.
Oh, it's fascinating, dude. It's super fascinating. Yeah, what he was saying about it lining up with the solstices and stuff. Like, first you look at it from the air, and it not only looks like a snake, but it also is like a sperm, and it has like a round thing in its mouth, which is basically it's a snake eating an egg, but it's also a sperm impregnating somebody. And right in the snake's mouth is where the sun sets, or whatever. So it's like it's devouring the sun. The snake is devouring the sun.
Right.
It's reproduction. There's so many things involved with it, and just all those little aspects. Just
That's
fascinating.
cool.
Yeah.
A lot of those ancient buildings and ancient things all seem to line up with celestial events like that.
Right.
And it's really impressive, especially where they didn't have the technology we do today to kind of
Yeah.
do that.
If they're what was I gonna say?
The
What?
ancient,
No, what were you just saying?
it's impressive how they knew that.
Oh no, okay, so like Bohemian Grove and all of those places, like the secret government cults and Illuminati, and if they're doing all of these rituals, they're probably also like utilizing the solar fucking eclipse and different celestial events too.
I think if there's anything going on that day, it's just like they saw that there is an eclipse that day, so they're planning whatever their things are separately. I don't think it's any sort of like mystical thing, but it is weird. I mean, have you seen all the warnings, Pence, like that the government's putting out?
I have seen some of the warnings of how dangerous it is.
Yeah.
I haven't really looked much into it, and weirdly enough, I've been to like my normal space sites like spaceweather.com. I check a lot for that kind of stuff. Didn't have any of those warnings.
Interesting. Very interesting.
Hmm.
But, I mean, Dude, it could just be like a psyop.
It could be. I mean, you shouldn't look at the eclipse with naked eyes.
But why are they telling everybody to stock up? Like, stock up
Yeah.
ahead of time for the 15-minute eclipse
That,
every 5.
that doesn't make any sense to me. It's like,
Yeah.
why would that affect anything?
Make
Especially
sure you.
this day and age.
Yeah. Like, some of it said, like, get gas and stock up on toilet paper and fresh water and stuff. It's like,
Are they
what are you
expecting
talking
people to be crazy on that day? I mean, I don't know what's
That's
going
what they said. Yeah, yeah. They said ammo too. Like, it's crazy. I don't understand the warnings.
There's one city, I think it was like a mayor asking citizens with their gun permits to sign up for their
Yep.
militia
Citizen police. Yep.
or militia.
Yeah. The mayor was like, if you got your permit to carry, sign up. We want you for that day. So I don't know. It's weird. It could all just be weird fake information, which if it's coming from TikTok, it doesn't surprise me. I mean, any social media platform really.
Yeah.
Just because it's all global at this point. So because you could get like somebody from another country tweeting something just as much as you could get somebody on TikTok doing something sketchy, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, we lost a Pence. Well, I'll give him a few minutes here. We'll play the next video.
Can someone explain to me how, after being discharged from the Marine Corps for over 11 years, I'm sorry, been discharged from the Marine Corps for 11 years, I just got involuntarily recalled? Can someone tell me what's going on?
Yeah, they're calling everybody back, aren't they, babe? With the first wave of the draft, right?
I guess.
Yeah.
Wait till Pence gets back here. We could just tell a random story to them. I'm responding to an idiot.
Well, I'm a little tired and fresh out of random stories. I spent all day working on stuff.
Talk about that then.
I could reveal it right now. Yeah, let's reveal it right now. We gotta close out of this though. Let's see what we got here. Bear with me, loyal viewers. So we have a lot of really cool people in the community that have shown support.
All right.
How's it going, Pence? How we doing?
Hey, he's back.
I'll keep this pulled up and just reveal it after the fact then. Well, actually, no, Pence. I was revealing this this thing I showed you before the show.
Oh, okay. Yeah, let's see it.
Yeah. So there's a lot of really cool people that are like super supportive in the Iron Age and just in our general community and stuff. And we've had the pleasure of having so many cool guests on so far already in like just the first year.
Yeah.
So I was just like kind of looking at all the thumbnails and I was like, man, that's cool. Just seeing all those different faces and awesome people. And I decided to whip up a little something special just as a thank you to everybody who's been on. And that includes you, Pence, man.
Awesome.
Yeah. Basically this. I'm still thinking about adding a background to it. But this is all the thumbnails we've collected that I've kind of carefully arranged into this collage poster.
Cool.
I call it year one.
Nice.
Yeah, I just gotta think of a clever background. But officially from the Pritchards at the Pritchard Pub, thank you to everybody here. Seriously. If you're listening or watching and you're not on this, get on it. I'll make more.
I
It was
want to
fun.
know why you and I both have like the symbol, or like, so it's a picture of me at the top with like your symbol, but then there's like a picture of you at the bottom.
Pictured. Oh yeah, we'll talk after. I'm not sure. I tried to have.
Pull it up.
You-
It's like supposed to be you and me at the top, but instead you have a symbol and then me, and then you have a little you at the bottom.
Yeah, we're like sandwiching everybody. You're like at the top with Pritchard Pub, and then I'm at the bottom, like holding everybody up. Yeah. I enjoy doing little clever things like that. A lot of the collages I do kind of write themselves like that, if that makes sense, or design themselves.
No, it makes sense.
Yeah,
You
like
just kind of do it as you go along, as you have the thoughts.
Right. Like, yeah, exactly. Like, I'll be in the middle of doing it, and then I'll just think, what if I just rotate this thing a little bit, and then all of a sudden I get a million other ideas or whatever.
Right.
What is going on with that cat? That is such a dope haircut.
That's
Yeah.
nuts.
It's beautiful.
I gotta see those ears again. Look at that. What the hell? Dude, I bet that's an expensive cat or something. I bet people pay for that breed. But like, I want long hairs in my ears.
Putting this sign on my mom's car for April Fool's Day.
Wow. Holy shit.
Why is everybody honking at me? I don't know. That guy just gave me the goddamn finger. What did I do wrong?
This is the final video.
All right.
Jesus, God. The hell? I didn't do nothing wrong. What did I do? I didn't do a bloody thing wrong. Why is everyone honking? I have no idea. This is the weirdest thing. That guy gave me the finger. Goof, I'll fucking honk at him. Fuck you. How
I
about
don't
that?
think what other reason women hate their woman.
What did I do? Idiot. It's so weird. What the hell? I didn't do one goddamn thing wrong. That's why people go through road rage. What did I do? I'm going down straight down the bloody road. Like, get lost. Okay, it's fine.
Get lost.
Cranky? What the hell's cranky? It's a beautiful day. Be cranky for. Honest to gosh.
Honest to gosh.
Somebody again. Somebody again. Again, bro? Oh my God, another guy. What the freak is going on today? Honest to God. Okay, buddy. Fuck you.
Oh.
Yeah, goof. What the Christ did I do? I'm on the speed limit. Go around me then.
Oh my God.
Go around. Honest to God. Hey, I'm getting all nerved out here today. I can't believe this. That's about the 10th person. What the Christ? Honest to God. This rules my mental. Do I have something hanging off my car or something? This is terrible.
Oh my God.
Do I have something hanging off my car? Yep.
Yeah, you do.
There goes somebody else. You gotta be damn well kidding me. Fuck off, lady. Fuck off. What the Christ? Honest to God. Another one. What the heck?
What a brilliant April Fool's idea.
Honking at me.
Yeah.
Just go home. No, I want to go home now. That person just gave me the finger. What's wrong with this table? I have no idea. 20, maybe 25 people. Okay, I gotta get home. Maybe the world's ending and we don't know it. Maybe something's going on and they're trying to
Dude,
kill
now
us.
she's a
That's
conspiracy
the
theorist.
most ridiculous thing I've ever seen
There
in
you
my life.
go.
I'm going
Yeah.
home. That's it. Forget it. Forget it. Forget it.
What mindset again? Honk and flip off my mom. Oh, nice. Okay.
Oh, that's so good.
I called my mother-in-law today after we picked up the baby. And I was like, were you going to tell me that my son got stitches? And she's like, what? And I was like, or she's like, what are you talking about? And I'm like, stitches. And she's like, what? And I'm like, stitches, like hospital grade stitches on his arm. And she was like, there are no stitches. That's what she said to me.
There are no
At first, she said, she was like, to Josh and Molly, like, did he get hurt up north? And did they even say anything? John A. Douglas, hail.
Yo.
We got a night owl. He wants to know what the hell we're doing. I told him we're waiting for him. So now we can finally rest. We can
Yes.
finally rest because you
Oh.
arrived, John. Why don't you go tell everybody where they can find you, Pence?
All right.
John, you got to come on the show also, by the way. While I got you here, you got to come on soon.
Gotta come on right now.
Yeah, yeah. Let's go live at John's work. Let's go.
Yeah.
What video, John?
All right. Well,
But
you
yeah,
can find me at Fantasy
yes.
CA Pence on Twitter.
Yes.
Or You go to asdenstudios.com and find my website.
Hell yeah, man. And you've been working on a
Hold
book, right?
on. I'm
Yep.
gonna interrupt for a sec.
Oh yeah.
Pence, on Saturday late evening, we're gonna be doing our Watchworthy with Kahuna and Bat Sauce. So if you want in on that, you can be on our guest panel every Saturday night if you're available.
Let me think about it because I got to work early in the morning the next day, so that's something.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Definitely something to think about.
We can just do it with you whenever.
Whenever, yeah.
All right, sounds good.
You know you're always welcome.
And you don't have to do a Watchworthy. You can come on as for the other stream too, of course.
Yeah, we got one-on-one interview format. We got this obviously video format. You can come on with just me and we'll shoot the shit and talk about whatever. That's more like
I still have to do our one-on-one though.
Oh yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
Before I do any other one.
There's options at the pub. Plenty of
Alright.
drinks.
Sounds good. Yeah, it's been a lot of fun.
Yeah. This is pretty fun once you get into it, right? Not
Yeah.
the rust stuff and you trust that we're picking some videos out best we can based on what the algorithm feeds us. I try to stick to hashtags, but you still get
Right.
algorithmed.
Oh yeah,
in the
definitely.
hashtags even. So you can find me on Twitter at _C_Pritchard, acpritchard.substack.com for free fantasy story spirit animals. Amazon.com/author/ACPritchard for my book. Every purchase, the revenue goes to making more books and comics. Pick up Anvil Magazine #3 and you'll see my first comic ever.
14-page preview in color, and it's just such a beautiful.
Yeah, done by Luke Stone.
Luke did amazing. His colorist did amazing. The story is amazing. It's just
amazing.
Awesome.
Very, very proud of you.
And where can they find you, my love?
On TikTok at MZ Tarot, on Twitter and Facebook at Moonzilla Tarot, and on YouTube at Pritchard Pub.
PritchardPub.substack.com.
Superb.
And I just want to say thanks again for coming out, brother.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was good to see you again. Don't be a stranger.
Yeah, for real.
Try not to.
Danger. Take care.
Until next time. Yo, I still can't get over the lions.
Fuck the lion.
Your team
It's
tiger.
all about the pub.
We may be a little overtired.
All right.